guys, Lenny's in here breaking stuff, but it's okay. It's time for Bollocks this evening. We're excited to be here. We have some fun stuff. We got some wonderful topics. Lenny is prepared. He's hiding himself behind his 3-ring binder. He's got his microphone ready to go. Blake, how you doing back there, man?
I'm doing great. Yay.
I'm going to pull this microphone just a little bit closer because I'm afraid you guys couldn't hear me. All right.
I love starting the day. We open the show and I'm laughing. Every day we open the show, I'm laughing.
What did you drop over there? Was it your keys?
Maybe.
Okay. I heard some big clank right before as Blake's going 3, 2.
Everyone can hear it, Lenny.
What can I say?
Microphones aren't his strong point. We know that.
Don't mix keys with tables, Lenny. It always creates a bad noise.
We got to give him a list. And
I'm waiting for that list.
Here's the other thing: is like because we have a glass table here, and we write on the table. You can see some of Lenny's stuff. Mine is a little more subdued.
Right. I like purple.
Yours is bright purple and big letters.
It's a purple and regal color.
When people wear a watch or a bracelet, and they're talking, it sounds. I don't know what it sounds like to you, Blake, but it sounds like they're just banging on knock 3 times.
Hey, I'm trying my best over here not to bang on the table as well because I have a watch as well.
But you don't have a glass table.
No, actually I do. This is actually glass.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. Lenny, how's your day going, man?
Good. I built a coffee table. Now we got rid of our old box of a footstool coffee table. Now we get to go through and see what's in there because we haven't opened that thing in probably a year and a half. So there's but we built a coffee table now that's got the lift up top so that we can eat on it and then put it back down because we tend to eat in front of Jeopardy quite frequently.
Okay.
And usually a day or two after we tape it so that when we play trivia on Tuesday and we watch Jeopardy on Wednesday or Thursday, they tend to ask a question that would have helped us in trivia, which is just too bad.
Yeah. All right, we got to pay some bills, man.
I'm in.
Are you ready?
I'm in. I am.
You ready? You're ready over there?
I'm ready. I'm ready to light it up.
What's the name of our studio, Leonard?
It is the Bozard Ford Studio.
You are correct. And at Bozard Ford Lincoln in St. Augustine, their goal is to make sure your time and experience buying a car is stress-free, fun, and enjoyable. Bozard is a family-owned Ford dealership that has been in business since 1949. Bozard Ford Lincoln has been the recipient of numerous dealer awards, including being ranked #1 automotive dealership in the nation by Dealer Rater. Bozard Ford also has won back-to-back President's Awards, which is the highest honor given by Ford Motor Company. Check them out today online at bozardford.com. All right. Blake has accomplished his task. I don't know if you saw the thumbs up we got from him.
Okay.
He had one duty to do during that read, and he did it with ninja-like skills.
There and back. Excellent. Yes. That's sweaty. Well, I can respect that. Established in 2006, Solar Stick is a local portable power company proudly committed.
Did you say Stoller?
Solar.
Did he say Stoller?
I did not say Stifler's mom.
Okay. I might have to throw a flag. Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
We're going to go back.
All right. Established in 2006.
Hey, you're doing great.
Thank you so very much. I'm new at this. Give me a week or two. I'll get really good. Solar Stick.
Not Stoller.
No, we did not steal anything. These are very nice people, and they're proudly committed to American manufacturing, constant innovation, and creating jobs right here in St. Augustine, Florida. Solar Stick's focus on providing solutions for self-sufficiency helps users all over the world complete missions and save lives. Solar Stick, changing lives, saving lives, and reviving American manufacturing, which is very wonderful.
Yes, they do. They do an incredible job over there. And, I'm so proud to be friends with Stephanie and Brian. They really built something special over there.
Isn't that nice when somebody starts from the ground up and they succeed?
And here's somebody who's done the exact same thing.
Okay.
All right. And I'm talking about you, David Powell. Powell Heating and Air. When your comfort's on the line, trust Powell Heating and Air Conditioning. Serving St. Augustine 24/7, 365 days a year with no overtime fees. From expert AC installation and emergency repairs to duct cleaning and routine maintenance, Powell's skilled team and fully stocked. Oh my gosh. Sorry, David. I slaughtered this one for you. Here we go. I'm going to start from right there. Powell's skilled team and fully stocked 15,000 square foot warehouse are also always ready. Oh my gosh, David, I'm crushing this one. They service all brands and offer flat rate pricing you can count on. Give them a call at 904-794-COOL. That's 904-794-2665. Pretty cool. They spell cool with their phone number.
I know. I like that.
Or book online, Powell Heating and Air. Your comfort, our promise.
Experience the art of Italian dining at Saint, nestled in the heart of historic St. Augustine. From handmade pastas to rich risottos and indulgent tiramisu. That'll keep you up, by the way. Every dish blends authentic Italian flavors with modern elegance. Sip a craft cocktail, savor seasonal ingredients, and enjoy breathtaking views from their second-floor balcony or rooftop patio where you can take in the bayfront and even spot the lighthouse on a clear day. At Saint, every meal is a celebration. Join us there and elevate your dining experience.
All right.
All right.
All right, and we have other sponsors we got to talk about because, our sponsors are so freaking cool. And the other ones we got to talk about, Meehan's Irish Pub. We ate there Monday night.
It was great.
A.D. Davis Construction. We're in their building right now. We rent space. The studio is in the A.D. Davis complex. Land Title America coming in at 6 o'clock. Don't go anywhere after you watch Bollocks. These guys do an amazing job talking about land and property rights. They do an incredible job. And, of course, our guy, Kaiser.
Market and Deli and try the pastrami.
All right.
I'm still trying to find him. He's like missing in action, my friend Kaiser.
Yeah. A to Z Roofing and Waterproofing. If you have any problem with any of those situations, give Chuck a call. He's the best at that, without a doubt. Also, I talked to Andy today. Anastasia Diner, Moultrie Creek Diner. They do such an amazing job over there. I love their breakfast. Mr. Electric of St. Augustine. Bozard Ford, of course. We already talked about them. Brightway Insurance, St. Augustine Pirate and Treasure Museum, Anastasia Construction Group. Give Mike Silverio a call. Different than Mike Davis. And that's our crew. That's a healthy crew we got right there.
You know, I tried the cheesesteak, non-specific, geographically named cheesesteak. It was just a cheesesteak at Anastasia Diner. At your suggestion, it was excellent.
Yeah.
It was excellent.
Yeah, no, they do a really nice job with that over there.
Yeah.
So, and always fun to talk to Andy today. But I want to start off the show because I lost a friend, and the community lost a friend yesterday. Chief Bobby Hall. He was former fire chief for St. Johns County. Kind of took a ragtag fire department and made it a professional fire department. We had in Chief McGee not too long ago, and the staff and where they're at now and the facilities they have now. I was there when Bobby kind of really molded and put some things together. And a lot of people don't realize how important, tomorrow we have the sheriff coming in.
Right.
In
the morning show.
On the morning show. A lot of people don't realize how important the sheriff is, how important our city police chief is, our city of St. Augustine Beach police chief, the fire rescue chiefs. These guys carry a lot of weight for us as a community. They hold burdens that we don't have to hold, and they do it in such an amazing job. And that's something I just got to send as much love as I can to Bobby's family. He was a special guy. Him and I got in a lot of trouble together. Not personally, but in the.
I thought you started the fires. He put them out.
No, well,
metaphorically speaking,
not necessarily, because sometimes he was helping me start the fires, but that's metaphorically speaking,
right? I gotcha. Yeah,
because him and I always agreed that you have to take care of your people. Our employees were always our priority. They trusted us to defend them because they didn't have a voice in the room. And Bobby, to his credit, was the voice in the room for hundreds and hundreds of firefighters, and just did an amazing job for that. And Bobby, you will be missed, and we appreciate the groundwork you set in that department. So.
And life safety, whether it's the sheriff's department, the police department, or fire rescue, is so important, especially with the congestion on the roads, the continuation of building and adding housing stock to the area. These guys, their job is not getting any easier at all. So it takes a very certain kind of person to be able to do that to begin with. And, you know, if he was able to put it together and make a cohesive unit out of the county's fire department, more power to him. And I am sure he'll be missed.
Yes.
St. John's County Fire Rescue, are they unionized? Is that a union?
Yeah, they do. They do have a union. And you know, and Bobby's been gone probably
As far as chief,
as far as being the chief, He's 7, 8 years, maybe more than that. You know, so you know, but he left the legacy for these guys to stand on, and I think a lot of the guys over there are hurting because of that friendship. That's still got to sting a little bit.
You know.
Yeah. So yeah, they are unionized. So and rightfully so, because some of the mental health stuff that they go through.
Oh, no doubt about it.
It's necessary.
Medical benefits, mental health, quality of life, wage, you know, scheduling, all that stuff comes into play.
So, all right, it is time. We're going to do our typical back and forth. Blake chooses the topics, and then we got Wager Wire sometime in the second half of the show.
Okay.
We got some predictions and stuff like that. I have All-Star Game as one of my topics, but should we save that for Wager Wire?
We can.
Blake, what you're the one who makes the call on this as producer, director, producer.
Save it for the Wager Wire.
All right, it's saving for Wager Wire. All right, my first topic is Kash Patel.
Mine is Texas sucks.
Okay. It could go a lot of different ways.
Yeah, I'll narrow it down when we get there.
I don't know her, but I'll take your word for it.
Easy. This might actually be a family show.
Oh, sorry about that. You probably need to work on your parenting skills.
Let us go loose. All
right.
Hey, we babysit.
And
probably touchy subject with Jeffrey Epstein.
And you got. He doesn't have a list.
I'm waiting for it.
He doesn't have a list.
Or filters.
Yeah. No filter, no list. And I'm going to go Mississippians.
Ooh, which is not easy to say.
Mississippians. All right.
Okay.
Are we ready?
Yes, we are ready. I'm going to go with Kash Patel.
Kash Patel.
Okay.
All right. You are not a fan.
I think the man is absolutely unqualified to be the director of the FBI.
What gives, because I knew you weren't a fan.
Yeah.
So I went,
also, I find him horribly untrustworthy.
I went with results.
Okay. I was also very thin-skinned.
Yeah, and a lot of people at that level, new in politics, are very thin-skinned, and he definitely got to work on that.
Oh yeah.
But I went to performance.
Okay.
How many of the top 10 wanted people on the list were caught in Joe Biden's administration in the 4 years?
I have the faintest idea.
Blake, do you have a guess? It's somewhere between 0 and 10.
Okay.
All right.
Because the list is constantly evolving.
Yeah, but you have a guess. How many that were caught that were on that list?
6.
Blake, how many do you think
I'm sure it's
were
going to
caught
be 0, but go ahead.
in those 4 years, top 10 FBI list during Biden's administration?
Lenny, always go with the Republican answer, 0.
Yeah.
The answer is 0.
Okay.
All right.
How many has Kash caught in 6 months?
10.
Yeah.
In 6 months, he's caught 10 on that list.
On the most wanted list.
Now, they've added more people to the list as it went along.
Right. It's ever evolving.
But on the list, in 6 months, he's caught 10.
Okay.
In the first 2 weeks, he caught 3.
And how many of them were in prison at the time that he found them? They were, they've been following him, waiting for the administration to turn over?
He had to go to other countries.
Just not that diligent.
He had to go to other countries. Oh, he's not diligent. The other guy caught 0.
I didn't think Joe Biden was going chasing him.
It comes down to results and not personality, Lenny.
Okay, fine. So results.
Okay, results.
So how is he so
10.
damn good? How did he find them?
He actually put in an effort.
He looked for
the other
him.
freaking guy wasn't doing anything. He
First of all,
actually went out and looked for him.
Okay.
It does. You don't have to be great. You have to be competent. All right.
Yeah, and I don't find
the
this
other
guy
guy was
competent either.
incompetent.
Who, McCabe?
Yeah.
Who, you're saying Joe Biden was incompetent?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah,
Joe Biden doesn't run the FBI. Biden hires the guy who runs the FBI.
Who's the boss? Who's the boss?
Biden. So what?
You run a restaurant. Your sous chef screws up constantly. Who's responsible?
He's not there anymore. So?
Thank you for that.
Okay.
Thank you for that.
We're going to do a little fact checking on this when I get off the air, by the way, as we normally do. And I'll find out how many trees are left.
I sent you the tree thing today.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Did you not check your Facebook?
No.
I sent you the messenger.
Yeah.
Okay, and just so you know, I'll save you the 4 minutes to get to the important part.
Go ahead.
All right. Since 1980, since this global crash is happening, we have 17% more vegetation right now than we did in 1980.
Okay, I've considered there's more trees.
Our world is healthier.
Wait, are we talking about trees or are we talking about Kash Patel?
That's what I'm trying to follow. Right.
But he
tangents, baby, tangents.
He said he was going to fact check, and he fact checked on the other one, and he was like, okay.
This is going to be awkward when I clip this to YouTube tonight.
Well, I don't care about that. That's your job because you're the director, producer, director, and you have superpowers.
Of operations.
You have superpowers. So that's not on us. We are the on-air talent. Give him a smile.
Good-looking people, aren't we? Hi there. All right, so he's caught all 10 of them.
He's caught 10.
Okay.
Some were new listed, and he caught them.
Right.
You know, and it might have helped his stats. So I'm not.
I mean, he put them on the list because he knew where they were.
Yeah, they might have been 14.
I'm not buying this as legit. I mean, if he caught them, that's fine.
Blake, you can fact check it if you want right now.
Oh, I'm not doubting your numbers. I'm doubting the fact that he put them on the list because he knew where they were and grabbed them up.
And I'm going to go with that. The first three he caught were on the list already.
Okay.
He didn't change the list. He caught them within a week and a half.
Okay, and do we know who they were?
I don't know the names off the top. I read it in the article. I didn't write it.
Were they all illegal immigrants that Tom Holman knew where they were and picked them up from Trent to Agua?
Well, I know one of them he had to go to like Switzerland for, so I'm pretty sure they weren't
so that was probably white collar.
I don't think it was illegal immigrants.
Right.
That's on the top.
So if this guy was in Switzerland,
on the top, you hear words coming out of your mouth before you say them, right?
Sometimes.
Julie, help me out here.
Wait, so if the guy was in Switzerland, we're presuming he was a white-collar criminal.
I don't know.
Maybe not. Maybe he was a murderer. Maybe he was hiding out in the Alps.
He might have been, somebody who robbed a bank and killed 27 people. I don't know. I don't know that.
It could have been an ex-prison camp guard who worked for a party that we can't talk about.
Could have been
the National Socialists.
But he was on the FBI list when.
Okay.
McCabe. What was the guy's name? McCabe.
Well, it was McCabe, I think, and I forget who the other one was. Well, who's the guy? Jim Comey. Yeah.
That was prior to McCabe, right?
Yeah.
All right. But the fact that he still caught the three that they couldn't find for 4 years.
Okay.
In 2 weeks. That tells me they weren't trying.
Well, I was going to say, maybe it wasn't important to them and maybe they had bigger fish to fry.
Then it's a top 10 list.
It's
a top 10 list.
Sometimes, you ever stand in the post office and flip those pages? I used to do that when they used to hang them in the post office.
No, because I don't want to see my face.
Fine, then, you better shave.
Yeah.
You ever think about that? You ever think about robbing a bank with your beard and then shaving? But in Florida, you really can't do that because you're going to have no sunburn there, and it's going to be pretty obvious.
I can tell you when I do shave, my phone doesn't recognize me, my iPad doesn't recognize me.
Really?
And like all my apps, it has the facial recognition. It doesn't recognize until my shadow comes back in. I have to put in the code almost every time. So, but my point was, I'm not saying Kash Patel is great at his job. I'm saying the other guy wasn't trying for shit.
That's very possible.
So that's the point I was.
And I'm intrigued to know who the three he
I'm not trying to give kudos because their job is to catch bad guys.
Correct.
That is their job. So thank you for doing your job.
Yeah, but he's putting every FBI employee, and I'm talking FBI sworn special agents, have to answer a lie detector test.
Good.
And the question have you ever said anything disparaging, or do you dislike Kash Patel? Hi, my boss sucks. Good, you're fired. Get out of here. Mm-hmm. What kind of fucking question is that to ask somebody?
Yeah. Has anyone got fired for that?
Probably.
And is that even? I don't even. Now I got to fact check that. Okay?
Well, you don't think that?
Who did you hear that from? Who's leaking that information?
Right, and the guy is kind of bug-eyed when you come right down to it. He really needs. He should be wearing sunglasses for his own best interest. I'm getting on
Greg
so many.
Ritchie.
I'm getting on so many lists.
Yeah, you're
man.
on the list.
Oh, I'm telling you, if I leave the country, they're not letting me back in. And
You're
believe
on-
me, if I leave the country,
you're on the list.
I'm taking a burner phone with me so they can't tap my
Yeah.
social media, which they've
But
been reading
I want to
anyway.
know. I would like to know the source of that statement, unless you heard it on CNN. The statement of that is one of the questions on the lie detector
Absolutely,
test.
I'll find it for you.
It's absolutely on there. You can
Yes.
say that with 100% confidence.
I can.
It's on there.
I can.
All right.
These are people. Well, these are people who've been asked who have been lie
They
detected.
didn't get the job.
No, they're already hired. They're already working the FBI. This is not an employment application. This is people who have been working for the FBI are now going through it and being lie detected.
Yeah, I've said bad stuff about everybody that I've ever worked for.
Right, fine. But is that a reason
They've
to
done
lose your job?
stupid shit.
Right.
I'm sure everybody
Now-
who's ever worked for me said something bad about me at some point.
What's your definition of the deep state?
Deep state.
Which is, in my opinion, a ridiculous term. But
I think
go ahead.
Hawaii's a deep state. That's the furthest south.
Let's talk as far as the swamp and/or federal government is concerned.
As far as the swamp and federal government, I don't. The two states I don't trust is California and New York.
You're
And-
avoiding the question. What are you?
Well,
What is this? A Senate hearing and you're a congressman?
No, you asked me what I define as a deep state, and you talked about government, and that's people that you don't trust that you think are hiding shit.
Let's put it in the political context.
Deep state, in my opinion, is they're hiding it and keeping it hidden from you.
Hiding what?
Information,
Okay.
or deflecting information.
As opposed to buried loyalists that are working against your agenda.
Buried loyal. Okay, you're going to have to define what you mean there. What are you talking
My
about? 'Cause
perception-
your question, by the way, would have been thrown out in a court of law. So it's too ambiguous.
What's your definition of the deep state?
Okay, and my definition is New York and California, to me, I think hides the most information or gives the most distant information. As far as
Okay.
the federal government
The
goes,
federal bureaucracy.
Federal government goes, I think the IRS is one that changes the rules as they see fit, and who's ever sitting at the top uses that as a weapon. And it's both sides do that. Democrats and Republicans both use the IRS as a tool, and I think that there's a lot of dark stuff there. And I think there's.
So
I think the FBI, CIA, and all of those, they have secrets that I don't want to know, and I don't think the public should know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a completely different take on what is perceived to be the deep state.
I am shocked by that.
I'm sure you are. The deep state is, the way I translate it, is loyalists or people that are constantly putting loyalists to a political agenda or people who are actively working against that political agenda. Donald Trump is trying to eradicate the swamp and the deep state, getting rid of anybody who's a holdover.
Well, he's
trying to
he's eradicating the other side. He's got the same deep state on his side. So it's depending on
Sub-freaking-terranean.
which. Yeah.
His deep state is going to be buried so deep that you're going to have to fire every political appointee if the new administration comes in to have
They pretty
any
much
type
do
of
that anyway.
Well, yeah, but this guy's burying them everywhere.
They pretty much do that anyway.
You know,
And
the only good
and
thing
you-
is he's getting rid of civil service protection, so you can go in
Yeah.
and fire everybody. He's firing civil servants. There's no protection for a government employee any longer. And the Supreme Court is rolling over and saying, fire the hell of them. All of them. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Supreme Court has no legitimacy anymore, in my opinion. They really don't.
Well, I mean, if you're a boss, and let's take it out of government, you don't have any. We're not talking about it's the United States. You're a boss. This is your company. All right, this is your company. Your waiter is working against you constantly. You're saying, "Hey, I need you to push this meal," and he's working against you constantly, and he's not performing.
Not a team player.
Not a team player. You're going to get rid of him.
Sure.
All right. That's no different in this situation. He who wins gets to choose their team.
Undoubtedly. Sure.
And you can't be mad about when they win.
I'm just disappointed that he's burying anybody who is a sycophant without any qualifications to now run departments.
Mm-hmm.
Look at his cabinet. I would say of his cabinet, I'll be generous and say there's 3 to 4 qualified people on the cabinet.
Who okay, on that list,
Okay?
who do you say is not qualified? Marco?
No, Marco's fine. I said 3 to 4 that are,
okay,
yeah,
all right.
he's qualified.
Vance. I mean, that's his vice president. You don't think he's qualified?
No, I don't think he's qualified. He's been a senator for 20 minutes, and I think he's.
Well, let's talk about that.
Okay.
All right. One of our best presidents in our lifetime.
Go ahead.
He was a senator for 20 minutes.
Obama. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Much brighter than this guy.
Okay. Well, IQ wise, I'm not so sure.
He's a freaking Rhodes Scholar.
Vance.
Maybe he wasn't.
Yeah, I don't think he was a Rhodes Scholar.
I think Clinton was.
Bubba was a Rhodes Scholar.
Clinton was a Rhodes Scholar.
But Vance, what school did he go to?
Yeah, he went to that. Yeah, that anti-Semitic place in Boston.
Okay, what?
Yeah,
school?
the one they're closing down because they can't teach anything.
What school? Wait. What school? What school did? And I like Obama.
Yeah.
He
went to Harvard as well.
I thought he went to Yale.
He did, but he did his post work at Harvard. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I think he went to both.
Yeah.
So.
Vance started. He's a Buckeye, and then he went to Harvard.
Yeah, he was Buckeye, and then went to Harvard.
And now they're all railing against Harvard.
I think Obama went to Yale and then went to Harvard.
Stop talking. J.D. Vance never went to Harvard. He
went to Yale.
Yep. He went to Yale.
Oh, okay, that's a minor league. That's a minor league Ivy League school.
That barely counts.
Yeah, really, seriously. That's like Brown or Dartmouth. Come on, seriously.
Yeah. Brown's baseball team's awful.
Just their uniforms. I know. You hate
they were disgusting. They look like big piles of
So President Obama had his alma maters, and he got his bachelor's at Columbia, then he got his JD at Harvard.
At Harvard. Okay.
Yes.
So I mean, both of these guys. I mean, Yale and Harvard. I'm putting them in the same category.
Fine.
Okay. So I mean, none of these guys are dummies.
Right, but they're railing against higher education. They're railing against the alma maters.
They're railing not against higher education.
Oh, absolutely.
They're railing against influential education. And by the way, some of the bigotry that comes out of our country comes from lily white professors that pushes the narrative to these young, impressionable kids. Now, when they get older, guess what they become? They become Republicans. You never grew out of it.
No, because I'm smart enough to understand what's going on. Is that J.D. Vance?
Yes.
Yeah. So,
I gotta keep putting my glasses on.
we're gonna get kicked. We're gonna get kicked off of Facebook.
Is there a beanie on the top of that spinning around? By the way, is there a propeller on the top of that hat? There's gotta be.
There is.
And I can tell you this: his wife's brilliant.
Oh yeah, Usha. Yeah, smart woman.
She's brilliant.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't think this guy's any great shakes.
I don't. Well, I don't think he's a dumbass either.
I mean, he's not stupid. I just don't think he's close to brilliant.
Guys that get to this level of success. Here's the thing. You're a smart guy. Even though I yell at you and you have your own opinions and you're a brilliant guy, but we have different views. And just because a person has, and this is where U.S. really screws up.
Yes.
We say they're dumb because they don't agree with me. They're not dumb.
No.
Kamala Harris, I didn't agree with her at all. Not a dumb person.
Smart
brilliant woman.
Right.
Brilliant woman.
Well, I don't know about brilliant, but she's a smart woman.
She did a lot of things.
Well, she's a prosecutor.
She was able to get a lot of things accomplished in her life, and I would call her a success of where she was at in her upbringing. I think another brilliant. Her mom was Indian, also correct. Brilliant Indian woman. So
her mother, a scientist, I believe.
Yeah. So her mom, another powerful, brilliant Indian woman. But I don't think they're dumb. I think they have different opinions than me, and I think some of their opinions are not for the betterment of everyone, but for the betterment of them pushing their narrative. But that doesn't make them dumb. And in the United States, the left says how stupid Donald Trump is, and the right says how stupid Joe Biden is. Neither one of them are dumb guys.
No.
Neither one of these guys are dumb guys.
No, and I think Trump is much shrewder than Biden was.
Yeah, I mean, he's heartless from his business background, and he'll step on your throat, and I don't like his tactics, but he's not dumb, and he is pushing people in very uncomfortable ways, but, the whole tariff thing, I was very, very questioning where it was going to be. And then I saw what he was doing with the art of the deal and that strategy. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, I see where he's trying to get here. He had already, because he's not dumb, he had already looked 3 moves ahead where the media was still stuck on, oh, he's going to break our economy, which he has not done, which is actually moving in a really good direction. Right now, it's starting to actually show some of those things. The rest,
like inflation and prices rising.
What price is rising? Tell me which one. Tell me which one, because you shop on a regular basis.
Semi-regular, yeah.
Yeah. What prices have went up since he's been president?
Food prices have gone up.
No, they haven't.
Recently.
No, they haven't.
Okay.
No, they haven't.
I will sit back and wait until the tariffs come home to roost. We'll see what happens.
Go back. He's been in 6 months.
Okay, and inflation is now starting to trickle up.
Go back to see what eggs were.
Okay.
And see what they are now.
Yeah,
see what they are now.
But that's not inflationary. That was bird flu, dude. That was culling the stock. It was a.
Where was gas at?
Contrived shortage.
Where was gas at? Where is it now?
$3.19 today.
Where was
$3.19.
Yeah, where was it at then?
$3.19.
Where was it at then?
$3.20.
Okay. Yeah, it's 250. It's 257.
But you can't use gas any longer because it's $2.57 at Costco and BJ's and Buc-ee's and every place else. It's $2.82 and then it's $3.19 15 minutes later, and then it's $2.74 and then it's $3.19 the next day. It's bullshit. There's no consistency and there's no rationality. The tanker pulls up and today it's $3.19. The tanker pulls up tomorrow and it's the same tanker and it's $2.74.
That's why you got to stick with the groups that aren't in there trying to gouge, like the Costco's. The
sure,
Buc-ee's,
you got to join a club.
You got to
you got to pay the VIG.
You got to be with them.
Right.
How much is that VIG, Blake?
$65 a year for Costco. Free at Buc-ee's.
Free at Buc-ee's.
Free at Buc-ee's.
Free at Buc-ee's, but
and you can use the credit card of your choice.
Yeah, so. but my executive level is 130 now.
Ooh, you're executive.
Yes.
But you get 2% back.
All right.
Yes.
Blake,
and actually, honestly, I have no idea where that certificate's at.
All right, Blake, if you would, I want you to check the inflation rate on January 19th.
I think the most recent one this week was 2.7%.
It's January 19th. So you want me to look up the inflation rate for January 19th?
Yeah, when Biden went out.
Okay.
And then what it is today.
Are you trying to get Jerome Powell fired as well?
Whoa. I didn't write a letter. I'm not going to fire him. Mm-hmm. Probably.
Yeah.
As he's holding up a letter and asking the 12 Republicans. By the way, the 12 Republicans that wanted to...
Is that Mark, Peter, David, Judas?
No, we'd have to get up to 12 then. Right. Thomas.
Yeah.
Stick with Thomas, the doubting one. The doubting one.
And that's what
but that's another thing. Thomas. You know, so there was 12 Republican Congress people that were voting against his position on the Epstein thing, whatever it was, and they were pretty solid. They went to the Oval Office. Every freaking one of them came out now and is going, "Oh no, I'm changing my vote." What does he say to these people, and what kind of gun does he hold to their head?
He's not holding a gun. He's
got to be doing something.
No, he's not. He's a salesman.
Then these people have no fucking spine. No spine.
No, he knows how to get a deal done. He made a deal.
All right, I have the answer. All right, so annual inflation rate that it was around 3% mid-January.
Okay.
So currently, right now, last update was around June 12th. It was at 2.7%.
Okay, is that more or less? You said it was going up.
Okay, it is.
But
2.7 is up from
the rate is lower
from January, but it wasn't lower than last week or the week before or the week before. 2.7 is up from where it was
at the highest point of Biden's. What was Biden at? We can't read that chart from here. So
7% was the highest, but however, at the tail end, it was 2.9.
Okay. What's the highest it's been since Trump's been in?
Highest it's
2.7.
For a second term?
Oh, yeah, for this term. Yeah.
Highest it's ever been, it was 3.
Okay.
Okay. So.
What do you mean so? That's a big difference.
Give it 2 more weeks.
Okay.
Let his tariffs come in. And by the way, the tariffs is a freaking house of cards because all of a sudden he's going to be getting people paying these tariffs, and by people I mean you and me. And all of a sudden, and there's still in the back of my mind, I really think they're looting the Treasury. But when did I become a conspiracy theorist, by the way?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's making you say things because you don't like this individual. It's making you say things.
No, I don't trust him as far as I can throw his fat ass.
I don't either.
So.
But because you don't like him, you're a brilliant guy. Because you don't like him, don't think the numbers are the numbers.
Look, you know what? I'm telling you now, I will be born out.
He's an asshole. I'll give you that.
I will be born out when he tries to put Emil Bove on the Supreme Court when Clarence Thomas retires before Trump's second term is over. So mark my words on that one. Two, we're going to have money falling out of our ears because of all the tariffs. So he's going to be raking in dollars after dollars. Wonderful. So that's going to help the trade deficit and the balance. But it's also coming out of Americans' pockets. This is not happening organically. This is happening because he's billing people, So he's basically raising prices to put the money someplace else. So at the end of the day, when all this money comes crashing in, and it will, and it may be beneficial, where's it coming from?
Well, it's going to be it's a long play. It is a long play, and even in the short play, he's winning, by the way. So it's a long play. I'll tell you this: the numbers in 4 years compared to the 4 years Biden's going to go down as an insignificant president. It was his turn. I
don't think he did anything in the 4 years that was overly noteworthy.
And that's how he got elected. He was against the guy that.
Well, he tried for 30 freaking years to become president.
Exactly. It was finally his time. He became president. He did nothing. All right. Because Trump is trying to do something, he's always going to be criticized. Obama took a different approach, and I felt like he did an excellent job. All right. I think he did an excellent job. George W., talk about deep state. I believe that's a real deep state.
Oh, don't say anything about that date.
What?
If you bring up Bush and like deep state, there's a lot of conspiracies about like what he did or with a certain date that we absolutely cannot mention.
That one I don't agree with. I don't think he had anything to do with that date. I don't think it, but I do think he had to do with the Enron loophole.
Which I still have a note. I haven't looked it up yet, but it's there. Okay. It's there for me to dig.
I'm going to give you a Reader's Digest version of the Enron loophole.
Because I have a note to go pursue that.
Everybody knows the Enron people, they were criminals. All right? Correct?
Yes.
You know about Enron. You know about what they did, and they're a criminal state. What the Enron loophole allowed, it allowed the future buyers of gasoline and of oil. So it wasn't the oil we had here. It was the ability to buy the futures of the oil, and they were able to hold on to it and jack up the prices. That's why when he was in, gas prices went from $2.20 to over $4. In California, it was over $6.
Right, California's expensive gas.
Okay,
you buy racing fuel there.
Yeah, but by doing that, early on in his first go round and you talk about a bad VP. Not only could he not shoot, but this guy was self performing.
Halliburton was worth bajillions.
Yeah, bajillions. Yeah. All right, but he was behind why George W. allowed the Enron loophole to go through, and it almost broke. And that was part of, along with the banks giving out loans to everybody and the housing market crashing, but it still comes down to gas, because gas touches everybody, whether you own a house or not.
Sure.
So in 2006, things started looking bad. 2007, we're really in a bunch of shit. In 2008, it was horrible.
Yep.
So, and that's when Obama won his election.
Partially because of that.
But in 2007, he reversed the Enron loophole, I'm pretty sure, 6 or 7. Yes.
Actually, so it wasn't Bush himself that signed the Enron loophole. It was Bill Clinton, the December 21st, 2000.
Okay, yeah. But he had the ability to close it off, and he didn't close it off. See, when he closed off the Enron loophole, it took him 7 years or 6 years to do it.
Clinton.
2008.
2008. See, it was there the entire time. Bubba let that legislation go through, and I'm not picking on Bubba here, but it benefited George W.'s Texas, which we'll get to Texas sucks, Texas buddies on the Enron loophole. So,
well, that was
it lasted for 8 years, and it really threw us into an awful, awful situation. A lot of people lost their houses. A lot of people lost their jobs, lost their careers. And, it was people that are no longer with us that, late in their career, died very poor because of it. So,
that's tough,
All right, let's go to the Texas sucks, because that one's proof Texas sucked definitely for that one.
Okay.
Because the Texas boys and his buddies
Okay.
were the ones that were behind that in-run loophole.
But Howard, just to clarify, but before we shit on Texas, though, we would definitely still think about like the families that are affected by the flooding as well. So
I'm just talking about the governor and the Texas legislature.
Absolutely, 100%. So
yeah, we're not talking about
not the
people that lost their lives and the unfortunate.
not the rivers.
Mhm.
We're talking about the governor and his sympathetic legislature.
Mhm.
So you're a student of government and politics.
I wouldn't know about that. I'm not a student of anything really. I'm kind of the guy that just cheated off the guy beside me.
Well, that's smart too.
Yeah.
Okay. Every 10 years, we
as long
count
as he
people.
was smarter than you.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Mhm.
Every 10 years, we count people in this country. Correct? The census.
Mhm.
And at the end of that census, what do we then do? We reapportion congressional districts
Yeah, we gerrymander the shit out of it.
once every 10 years.
Yep.
Once every 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Once every
Yeah.
10 years.
Mhm.
Okay. So why the hell is Texas now, because they have a majority, going to rewrite and re-gerrymander legislative districts because they're shit in their drawers, or Donald is, that they're going to lose congressional seats. So they're trying to gerrymander in Texas. He's calling a special section of the legislature.
This is not new, and it sucks.
Right.
I agree with you 100%.
Right.
It sucks. But this isn't the first time it's happened in our nation.
No, it usually happens in North Carolina.
And it's happened in Florida.
Yeah.
There was gerrymandering. What was the congresswoman from Jacksonville?
Oh yeah.
I mean, that looked like. I mean, she just
No,
went
it was the guy who had the district. Well, the one district that went left and right and all the way. Who was the guy who just passed away?
There was a woman.
Lawton,
There was a woman in Jacksonville. Her foundation. She ended up.
Well, she got
Corinne Brown.
Yeah, but it wasn't her district. It was the gentleman's district.
They cleaned up her district finally.
Yeah, was it Lawton?
There was one that went from like Jacksonville through
like the Tallahassee and kept going.
Orange Park through that whole area where Rayford was. Just to grab.
You look at congressional maps; they're ridiculous.
Grab every vote. So
no. Was it originally part of the 5th district? Originally, didn't she originally represent the 5th district, which is now what John Rutherford is in now?
Rutherford is ours.
Yeah, Rutherford. Well, Corinne was west part of St. Johns County for a little bit.
But she wasn't ours. Yeah.
Yeah, she was.
And not since I've been here.
No, she was.
Okay.
So, and like I said, they cleaned up that one.
Yeah.
But it was like a strip that went from Jacksonville.
They're silly.
It looked like a swimming sperm.
It's a Rorschach test. And
it was like it was part of Jacksonville, which was where she lived. Grabbed part of St. Johns County, went through Putnam, and then down to Volusia County, hitting districts where that they could protect their place. So and that's happened. That's happened for decades.
You do it once every 10 years.
This is not unprecedented. So I just
but what's the rationale for it? Because we want more Republican-leaning districts. So Gavin Newsom came out.
It goes back to, and I'm not meaning to cut you off.
It's okay.
It goes back to, he who wins tries to control the power, and that's where gerrymandering comes in.
I understand that.
Gavin Newsom, go ahead. I'm sorry.
It should be once every 10 years at the advent of the census.
I agree with you 100%.
Done.
Yeah.
It's bad enough when they do it that way. You've got Louisiana trying to get another black-leaning district in there, and they think they finally got it. And by the way, the courts used to be very fair about this, and the courts aren't fair about this anymore because the Supreme Court sucks. The Supreme Court is just doing stuff in the dark of night.
Okay.
Without explanation. The emergency docket, there's been 11, 12 things on the emergency docket without explanation.
Would this particular thing go to the Supreme Court? It would go to state legislature. I was going to say it should go to state. It would go to state courts.
But what Gavin Newsom said, Newsom called out what's his face, Abbott, and said, dude, you're ridiculous. So what Gavin Newsom said is, you know what? If you're a Democratic legislature with a Democratic governor, rewrite your districts and get more Democratic districts. It's the only way you're going to, he said, the Republicans cheat, lie, steal, and do everything. They play smarter. They do everything to keep their thumb on the scale. And I got news for you. Florida's got one big, fat, heavy thumb. But you know what? The Democrats try to play fair. They try to follow the rules. As far as this is concerned,
okay.
As far as Lenny,
because I can tell you that is historically completely false. It might
find me Democratic gerrymandering to the extent that the Republicans do.
I already gave you one just now in our area.
The Florida thing?
Yes.
What Democrat did that? How long is it?
Corinne Brown. We gave you.
She doesn't make the districts. She runs in it. She didn't make the district.
Are you freaking kidding? Then the same thing goes in Texas. They don't make the districts.
Yes, they do. The legislation does, not the person running. John Rutherford does not set the boundaries for his congressional district. Corinne Brown did not set the boundary for her district.
You honestly look up gerrymandering. Damn it.
Yeah, it's Elbert Jerry.
Yeah,
he was a vice president.
Because
back in the days when they were wearing breeches.
You are so ridiculous with your Democratic blue. You can't see the truth.
You got to be kidding me.
You got to be kidding me. Read it to me, Blake, because we can't read it.
Gerrymandering is the practice of setting boundaries of elected districts to favor specific political interests within legislative bodies, often resulting in districts with convoluted, winding boundaries rather than compact areas. The term gerrymandering was coined after a review by Massachusetts redistricting map of 1812 set by Elbridge Gerry. Note that one of the districts looked like a mythical salamander.
That was the first one. Right, that was the first gerrymandered district.
Yeah, that was the very first.
It had a neck on it, the whole thing.
It looked like a dragon.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, exactly.
It looked like a dragon.
Exactly.
No, but I mean, to say it's the Republicans own this and the Democrats are playing fair. The
Democrats aren't doing it, and that's their problem. They should be.
Lenny, stop. They're doing it as well.
Where?
Stop admitting it.
All over the country.
Where?
Yes,
Lenny, that is the most. I love you, man. But that's the most ridiculous thing I've heard, to say that the Democrats don't do. The Democrats, when they're in power, they are going to push every possible limit. What's the lady in California, hasn't lived in her district the entire time?
Caitlyn Jenner.
Are you talking about Maxine Waters?
Maxine Waters.
Okay.
All right. You think she hasn't gerrymandered and made sure
it's not her job? You've got to understand who gets to do this. Who's a congressperson? It's the state legislature.
Okay, then stop thinking that your side is so holy and glorious.
I'm just trying to keep you with the process.
I'm agreeing with you until you make a statement like, the Democrats are playing fair. No, they're the fuck not.
No, the Democrats are playing stupid.
You said the Democrats are playing fair. No, they're not.
Well, they're not redistricting the way they should.
They're getting outplayed. Is what it is.
Yes.
It's not they're playing fair.
Stupid.
They're getting outplayed. And that's not the Republicans' fault. That is because they're in a state that has heavy Republicans.
Okay.
And you know what? You got to change your strategy.
No, I'm trying to tell you. When was California's not doing it, but they will now.
No, they have been. They've been doing it for decades.
You're kidding me.
I'm not kidding you.
You are. You got to start getting some facts behind you, buddy.
You better start looking at some history.
You better start looking at some facts.
I just gave you one, Maxine Waters, right there.
Doesn't make her district.
Oh, my gosh. Who do you think?
The fact that she lives or doesn't live there that's an apple and an orange. Whether she's qualified to be
ridiculous.
There.
No, it's not.
Lenny, it may not be her, but however, the Democrats are working their best to make sure that the people like her get elected.
Who do you think?
Of course they are.
Who do you think?
But the fact that she's not qualified because she doesn't live in the district, she shouldn't be able to run.
So neither are these guys in Texas. They're not controlling that. It's the legislation in Texas that's controlling.
It's the state legislature.
Exactly,
it's not the Congress people.
They do have an influence, Lenny. They do.
All right. Are you telling me right now, John Rutherford comes down, okay, I'm going to use sorry for using the name. John Rutherford comes down and says,
as an example,
hey, Kim, who's one of our representatives who would handle this gerrymandering.
Okay.
All right. Kim Kendall and Sam Greco and Tom Leake. These are our three guys at our state legislation.
Okay.
John Rutherford holds a lot of power, holds a lot of money that comes into our district. All right. You guys, I need you to do this. You think they're going to tell him, no, we're not going to do that, because it's going to cost them millions of dollars.
Wait.
All right? And you're telling me Maxine Waters is not having that conversation.
I'm sure she is. She's very influential.
You said the Democrats are playing fair.
I'm trying to explain to you who does the process.
How hypocritical you're being right now.
No, trust me.
Yeah,
hypocritical is not me when we're talking about this type of stuff.
All right. I do have a point about that last example though, because with Florida, do meetings about gerrymandering like that, like talks with representatives or in the state legislature, does the sunshine laws block that as well? Possibly or no?
Okay. Sunshine laws don't block, there's no legislation against Rutherford talking to an individual. He's talking to these individuals.
Sure.
he's not talking to him in a group that's not advertised. You're allowed to have whatever conversation you want to have with that.
Right, they're not on the same board.
Kim Kendall can't talk to Sam Greco, but Kim Kendall can talk to John Rutherford. All right? But to say the Democrats play fair, none of these politicians play fair. That is not. I take personal umbrage to that. Speaking for myself. Okay, we cannot continue this conversation then, because the fact that you think I'm speaking for myself.
I believe you. I'm speaking for myself.
I believe you to be an honest and true
player. And I was, absolutely.
But we're talking about a group. You said Democrats with an S. You didn't say this Democrat.
Right.
This Democrat, and I'm gonna put my hands on you, buddy. This Democrat, I believe.
Blake, he's touching me.
Inappropriately.
Go ahead.
Where's my other hand?
Knock your socks off. Right.
But I believe you played completely fair and honest.
I did.
Okay?
I understood my role.
Here's the problem with our society is people are looking at, instead of looking at Lenny, my guy, honest guy, I'm looking at you as Lenny, not a Democrat. Unfortunately, the way our country is, if you're looped in with that D, you're going to be called this, and this by the R side. If you have an R, just because someone voted for Trump, I've heard people say, oh, anything bad, it's all your fault. Screw you. Okay? That is a horrible attitude.
Yeah.
And it's not one-dimensional.
And people did that to Biden, too. And people did it to Obama. And, they're like, oh, well, you voted for him, so it's your fault. No, screw you. Okay?
Right.
That's not the way it is. That was my vote. I can do it any way I want to do it. Right. And I would go back to 1987. I'm about half and half. I'm half Democrat, half Republican, and it had to do how the individuals affected my personal life.
Correct.
So that's how I vote, and I don't look at it as much as a Republican and Democrat. And maybe
you're a little bit more thoughtful about it.
I might be a minority.
Right. But you're thoughtful.
But I'm also a realist that both sides are shady as hell, and both sides are trying to protect their own. Mm-hmm. So Democrats have power in California. I guarantee you.
And they should be gerrymandering those districts to get more Democratic districts.
And they are.
But be careful. This is also a case of be careful what you wish for.
New York is too.
Right. They better.
Yeah.
Right. And so should Colorado, and so should North Carolina. Mm-hmm. Well, not North Carolina. I know that they have the legislature.
Yeah.
But Wisconsin, because if you're going to pick up 5 districts in Texas and 3 more in North Carolina, then you got to find another 6 or 7 elsewhere.
Yeah.
But you got to be careful, because if you start diluting solid Republican districts to shift those voters into another district, all of a sudden you might end up losing some of those seats that were solid Republicans. So you start playing this game, and the chickens may come home to roost in a whole different fashion than expected.
Well, I can tell you, and this is not new. We're not inventing dirty politics right now.
Oh God!
And we're not inventing the separation right now. I mean, Thomas Jefferson and John Adams they were best friends that became mortal enemies.
Right.
Luckily, they became friends
the end,
again.
Right.
Luckily, they became friends again because one of their mutual friends said, "Enough's enough, guys. It's been 20 plus years."
Right. Have you ever been to the Jefferson Memorial?
Yes.
Okay. Have you read the panels that are in there? I may have pictures of them.
I think we did.
Because it's as clear as can be what Thomas Jefferson was saying, which is just not happening in the world today. It's how he was laying out how the government should run and the limitations on government vis-a-vis religion and other things of that nature. I think I have pictures of them, and I'll find them.
Yep. All right. We really didn't hit any topics today.
Well, we know Texas sucks.
No, we didn't.
We hit Texas sucks.
Right.
Okay. But I don't think, for your reasoning, I think every other region that has power, which Texas has power, I think Texas sucks. I think Florida has power on the Republican side now.
Sure, absolutely.
And it's gaining power because the Democrats can't get their shit together.
Right.
They're equally as dirty. So it's not say, oh, they're trying to play fair. They're playing checkers in Florida, and the Republicans are playing chess right now.
Right. But
it's reverse in California.
Right.
In California, the Democrats are playing chess, and the Republicans are playing checkers.
Right.
So it really has. Who has the power?
But it's ridiculous.
And can maximize that to hold it as long as they can, because it's eventually going to switch.
Yes.
It's going to go back and forth. That's the nature of And that's, just like I was saying with climate, global warming or whatever, it's going to do this. Before we were here, it was doing this.
People don't matter.
This. It was doing this.
We're helping, but people don't matter.
But in the political world, when you have the power, the most important thing is to hold on to it as long as you possibly can and expand it when you can. And that's what's happening in Texas. Agree. It sucks. They should wait 10 years, but it's not the first time it's happened in our history.
No, not at all. But you know what? It also should be a level playing field. It should be the same for every state. It should be the same. Because now that, the courts, and again, my faith in the courts is disappearing by the minute. Because, they went into North Carolina. They went into the Voting Rights Act. Clarence Thomas has been working since he's been on the court to end the Voting Rights Act, to protect people's disenfranchisement.
And that's why it's so important. I mean, instead of complaining about it, come up with a strategy, Democrats. I'm not talking to you.
No.
Come up with a strategy of how you can get back in power, and that should be your focus. Don't get thrown off by this, that, and the other. Okay? Come up with a strategy of how you get back in power, and you can flip that, and it will flip. I mean, I think I got a good 30 years left in me. I think it's going to flip 2 more times.
Wow.
So,
but it's just a shame that has to be done this way, because Louisiana, the state of Louisiana lost their challenges to the best of my knowledge, and now they're having to redo a couple of black districts, which, by the way, they're stalling so that it doesn't happen until after this congressional election, if I'm not mistaken, and I may be. But the reality of it is, you used to be able to rely on the courts to do things equitably. Not so much anymore.
Oh, and I think there's a way to right that ship, because of the way, who outlives who,
right?
But I think there's a way to get that balance back, but it comes down to who's in power,
right? And that's the problem.
And it's timing of who's in power, because Biden really didn't get to appoint anybody, did he?
For the Supreme Court,
yeah.
No, but you also have Mitch McConnell, who sat for a year with a vacancy because he didn't have the Senate. I mean, he had the Senate, but he didn't have
But that wasn't unprecedented either, because the Democrats had done that in the past too.
When?
Because
kept a vacancy open for an entire year, waiting for, based on the fact that we're too close to election.
Yes.
And then a month before an election, Amy Coney Barrett gets sat. Where's the reality there?
You might want to look that one up, because I thought it was ridiculous. I was on your side, and then I went back, and it's happened like 4 or 5 different times in history on Democrats, Republicans, going even all the way back to the Whigs, that they held on to it until the next president came in.
Okay, let's talk about modern times.
Yeah. No, it's happened within the last 100 years too.
That's not modern times as far as politics is concerned.
Well, our country's only
because
250 years
realistically,
old.
precedent doesn't matter.
But these justices hold their jobs for 30 years.
Yeah.
So that's modern times.
Which is why 43-year-old Emil Boone scares the shit out of me.
100 years is only 3 cycles.
Okay.
So, when it comes to the Supreme Court, it's not like a House of Representatives, which is 2 years.
Right.
We're almost out of time. We got to get the hell out of here.
We got people
Let
coming in.
Title get in here.
We got people.
Great
I know.
show.
I clean my table for them.
Great show, Lenny. I really appreciate it. Josh made a very good point. He said, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. We will never be happy in America with our government. At least half of us won't. So
no, all of us won't, Josh.
I would say
it's just going to swing back and forth, man. I like Josh's comment, because we go back and forth, he and I.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's going to be that roller coaster. Both sides. We're all Americans, and I think that's where we got to find our way back to. We're all Americans.
And the waste. And one last thought, because I think we got about 30 seconds. Everybody who's in power wants to do things when they're in power, and you've heard the term obstructionists. Well, when they're out of power, they slow play everything to prevent the other side from claiming victory while the opposition is out of power.
They're waiting their
turn. So you know what happens? Something that could have been accomplished today gets done in 6 years from now, and we're 6 years further down the road, and it's ridiculous.
That's
a waste of time. Have a lovely night. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, guys.